Okay, hoop fans. It's time, boy. March Madness is just about to be finished. We're in the finals, the final four, the Elite Sweet 16, the Elite 8, Final Four. Now we're down to two teams: Wisconsin Badgers versus the Blue Devils of Duke, Carolina. So we have one side, we got Chris Caban from Carolina, and I'm representing Wisconsin. You know what? Yeah, I'm for this debate, Wisconsin. I'm gonna put a link in for the hangout for anyone listening, for you guys. There are a couple of guys who actually should be coming over, so I'm not too sure. But we try and debate as long as we can. I mean, if you get the link, try and join it. If not, then hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Chris Caban, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. We're playing a team we already beat by 10 points, so I'm doing very good.
So, all right, we're gonna get into Chris's drop the shot. So, Chris, when did you play the Badgers last time?
I forgot. It was this season though, but we beat them by 10 points. I mean, they're not strong enough to guard inside. I told you that Sunday. They're too small. We're not like Kentucky. Our bigs can shoot and not the shot. So I think it's going to be a repeat performance.
But you don't even know when the last time it's important.
I know that. I forgot.
No interrupting.
I know the results.
No interrupting. Let me say what I'm saying, and you say what you're saying. What I'm saying is like it's important to know when the last time they fought, because last time they played, because if they played like in the season started like last year, then they can make adjustments. Is what I'm saying. So obviously Wisconsin played them. They're gonna make adjustments rather than Duke, who won. If they won by a certain amount of margin, then what adjustments to Duke? I mean, Duke, despite you know what. We beat them last. Exactly what you're saying. We beat them last time. We're going to beat them again. And in basketball, it's never the case. You know how it goes. Sometimes it's the team who come prepared, well prepared, will win the game. So you could. One game could make a difference. But I hear what you're saying. Duke are the major favorite, and they knocked out Kentucky Wildcats. So they're definitely going to be the favorite jumping in off the bat. You know what I'm saying? So. It should be good. And all right. So, Chris, tell me about why you think Duke's going to win, and break down to the people why you think they're going to win.
I think Duke is more athletic, and they're big inside. Our bigs can knock down shots. Our bigs can shoot outside jumpers, and we're just more physical and athletic than that team.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I can't deny it. Okafor,
and nobody can't check Okafor on the inside.
I agree with you. What's the guy's name? Franz Kaminsky's, yeah? Franz Kaminsky and Okafor. It looks like them, but you know what? Kaminsky, his outside jumper is nice, man. He's got a nice outside jumper. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Okafor's going to play. If Okafor comes out, Kaminsky's got nice footwork where he can come into the lane as well and pass the ball out. So, it's going to be a matchup. But, I think, for Duke, I don't know, Chesky recently, Mike Chesky, he's been playing zones. And I think that's going to give the Badgers a whole heap of trouble. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah, my point exactly.
Yeah, I think so. But all right, let me just because I'm going with Wisconsin. Wisconsin, man, they just shot me, man. The way they play ball is crazy.
Look at you. You went Kentucky, now you're going Wisconsin.
No. I just told you to make it interesting. What you going to do? Me, I'm just trying to say I'm just going to go. What, both of us going to see him play Duke? We both going to see him make it. So I'm saying Wisconsin, man, they surprised me hard when they beat Kentucky. I thought Kentucky would win. But the way they play Kentucky, man, they play Kentucky supremely. I'm surprised Coach Calipari, the consensus coach of the year, I'm surprised he didn't play a zone or he didn't play full court press, which I know Coach K will do that. And that will give Wisconsin some real trouble. But, I think for them to win, they're going to have to do more or less the same thing. Pass the ball, they can all shoot free throws and all thing. But, Duke is just you know what I mean? It's not just the name. They have the players and the people in the places in there. But, like I said, Frank Kaminsky, he's good. And what's the other guy? They got another good player as well. He's another All-American.
I forgot that guy. He's a forward. He can handle the ball. He can shoot threes. We're gonna whoop them easy. It might not be a blowout, but we will definitely control the game.
Yeah. I think you know what, it's gonna be a very interesting game. So what do you think, like, in the half? I think for Wisconsin, for them, it's very important for them they stay close to Duke, because if Duke start getting away, you know, Coach K, man, he's notorious. When they start having a lead, that Coach K doesn't give up leads, man. He don't give up no leads if he's in front, right? So
not at all.
Yeah. So what do you think? So you definitely think Duke has got this. You think it's gonna be an easy game for Duke?
I think it is.
Really?
Yeah, I don't go by what the people on ESPN and all them guys say. They was predicting Kentucky. I knew Kentucky. I told you before they got. I said Kentucky's not winning. I told you a while ago in the tournament.
Yeah, no. But I think Kentucky just played it wrong. But Wisconsin, man, Wisconsin deserved to be here, man. I was watching the game closely. I tell you what, Chris, right? If the game's close, yeah, Wisconsin's got a real good chance. But if they start taking away, if Duke start taking a lead, I don't think Wisconsin can come up with it, man. If Duke get like a 10-point lead, it's like a 20-point lead. I don't think they can keep up with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think so. But I think if Wisconsin's gonna win, I think it's gonna be a tight game. You know, but I'll be surprised. But I mean, anything could happen. But I think for Wisconsin, I think they got to play the same type of tempo. They got to keep the score.
I think basketball style-wise, it would have been a better matchup if Kentucky would have won the game.
Yeah, I know. But we have to do what's in front of us, though, because Kentucky is gone now. They're out. They're out the tournament with Wisconsin. But for Wisconsin...
But I'm just looking at a matchup.
Yeah, style matchups. I know. But obviously, it's easy. But you know what? If you could say that about, like, maybe Michigan State, you could say that with someone. You know what I'm saying? There's no one easy in the tournament. Like, you could say Michigan State maybe easy for Wisconsin. So you have to do with, like, who's in front of us right now. Wisconsin, for me, I think if they're trying to beat Duke, I think they want to keep the game in low numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I think they beat Kentucky. They want to keep the scoring very low. And I think that's the way they want to do it. You know, frustrate Duke. You know what I'm saying? Get them into making foul troubles and stuff like that. I think if they get Okafor in trouble, which is a big possibility, I think, you know, the wide middle is going to be wide open, Chris.
Yeah,
I think that's what's gonna happen. So my prediction is Wisconsin's, if it's close. If Duke gets a massive lead, then I'll probably go for Duke. I mean, they're the favorite already. Chris is already going for Duke. So Duke are going for their, what is it? They're going for their 5th championship? Is it? Nah, I think it's their like 6th championship, right? Is it 5th or 6th?
It might be 5th. I don't think they won the themselves.
All right, we can go for it. Yeah, you're right. It's 5th because they've got the back-to-back, and then they've got 2 championships since then, isn't it?
It'll be 6 tonight, though.
Yeah. It'll be 6 tonight? It'll be 5 tonight, man. No. Will it be 5? 2? Will it be 5 or 6? I think it's 5, Chris.
Oh, they won 2 with Brent Hill. They won 2 with Brent Hill.
Yeah. And they won 2 since. They won 2 since then. Another 2 since then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's 5.
Yeah, it's 5, man. It's 5. So, yeah, man. Well, that's the way I see it. Chris, this is it. It's gonna be a tremendous game. The game's gonna start. When's the game gonna start? It's gonna start. How many hours? 2 hours from now. So yeah, this is the preview show. Hope you're listening. Anyone wants to jump in? I think I left hangout for some people to jump in if they can, ready to debate Chris or me. If they got any opinions against, we're gonna try and keep on as long as possible. But this is gonna be great. So let's talk about Chris. So consensus is Frank Kaminsky. I think Kaminsky or Okafor player of the year. I think they've already known Frank Kaminsky. I think he's the player of the year already.
Oh, man. The real player of the year is in the middle of the two.
Okay, all right, fair. Chris don't want to get a dialogue about it. Okay, fine. All right, so who you reckon projected to go to NBA, and where do you think out of these people in the teams are going to be placed in the NBA draft?
I think Okafor going to be a first-round draft pick, but I think he needs to stay another year, get more work, because I see he's not going to. I see stuff in the NBA. A lot of big men to kill him down there. I think he needs to stay one more year, work on his, get a little inside shot, post up better. I think he just needs to stay one more year, get more polish.
So what's the difference between him and Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis is more skilled player than Okafor.
Not now. When Anthony Davis came out, it was more skilled.
He was more skilled than him. Yeah, they didn't even know first.
Okay, all right.
In my opinion, he was more skilled big man.
Okay, someone's just jumped in. Sean Newton. Yeah, buddy. How you doing, Sean? You right?
Good. What's this crazy stuff Chris is talking about?
Oh yeah, here we go. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Sean. Tell him to go.
Okafor is the player of the year.
One at a time. One at a time. Go ahead, Sean. One at a time. Go ahead.
Okafor is lucky that he's even freshman of the year. That could be Russell from Ohio State.
Could have, should have, could have, would have, not happened.
Hey, you know what, Sean?
That's right, and that's why Kaminsky is player of the year.
One at a time. One at a time.
Coulda.
Was that Sean say again?
Well, that's why Kaminsky was voted player of the year, because he had a great season. His stats are just as good, if not better, than Okafor, and his team is obviously good because they're in the finals and they just upset Kentucky. I mean, I'm not really a Kaminsky fan because, I mean, I don't know how well he's going to translate to the NBA because he's not a very strong player. He's going to be more like a stretch four. But, I mean, in college, he's perfect. And he's perfect for what they run because they like to be able to, like, get everyone out of the key and open it up for back doors.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I've seen the guy Russell from Ohio State, man. That guy's bad, bro. That guy is real bad. He plays so easy, like everything's so easy for him, man.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants. There's no one can guard him.
And
like,
he can pass.
Yeah. I was watching it because I saw some game the other day. I said you're right on the money about that kid, man. That kid is a bad mama jabber. That guy's NBA material all day, for real. For real. So what do you think about what Chris said about Okafor? You think he should come out? You reckon he should stay and not be in season? What do you think?
Chris is just biased. I mean, everybody knows Okafor is going to be number 1 or 2 in the NBA draft. He's not going to stay in college.
He needs to work on his game, though. There's a lot of shit he ain't got for the pros.
Offensively, his game is good. That will translate very well. But the problem is, defensively, I mean, he is not a fleet-footed player. And, I mean, regardless if he stays, I mean, that's always going to be his weakness. Like, you wanted to compare him to Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis in college was the best defender in college basketball.
I wouldn't compare him to Anthony Davis. I say Anthony Davis was a better player.
No, he's talking about me. I compared him. Yeah.
I mean, they're very different. Anthony Davis didn't have the post-up game Okafor had, but he was more of a. He's more like a Anthony Towns type of player, but Anthony Towns isn't as good as him. Not as athletic and not as rangy. But that's more of the type of player he is. Okafor is more like a Zach Randolph, Jefferson player. Big ass, good low post player, good steps, good back to the basket moves.
He's predictable with his low post moves, though. He's very predictable with his low post moves. I think he needs 1 year won't hurt him.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be realistic. No one's going to give up $5 million to go back to college.
Say again, Sean?
I'm saying nobody's going to give up $5 million to stay in college.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know Chris I agree with you, Sean. Chris is biased. He wants him to stay there because he got another big guy coming in.
No, because I've been watching basketball for years. Tim Duncan, he could have came out his first round, but he didn't. He could come out his freshman year. He need to work on some stuff. Some people just don't go out because that shit come out to be coming out because there's a lot of players that did that shit that went bust.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, like, but it's a different time. But I understand. I agree with you. But what I'm saying to you is that, end of the day, like right now, it's like you could stay another year and might get injured. You don't know what's gonna happen. But if you've got a dead certainty to be in like the top 5 in the NBA draft, and like you might got a chance to win a championship. There's no reason for you to stay. For you. Right, he could stay and try, but his stock will go down. It's the same thing happened with Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah should have came. If he came at that first year, right, he would have been higher in the draft. He came in the second year, was much lower. It doesn't matter. Like, you're right. He was a very obviously his skills got better.
But that's one player that you compare him. Tim Duncan started and go down when he stayed.
No, he didn't go down that much. He was still in the top 10.
Well, but that was a different time. I mean, the climate of the game is different now. I mean, what Errol says is true. I mean, guys get
that's player though. It's a lot of players that didn't drop though.
Yeah, but
that's one player out of 100.
One Chris, why Sean talking? Let him finish at least, and then finish. Go ahead, Sean. Let him finish. And Chris,
I agree with Chris too. I mean, it's a shame that these players leave so early because they don't get to develop like Patrick Ewing, Elijah Wan, Tim Duncan, right? Guys that really get a good foundation and go to the NBA ready to turn a team team around. Like Duncan went and the team was, 20, 25 games better than they were the previous year. Whereas Okafor is going to go to New York or Minnesota, and maybe they'll be 5 games better than they were last year. Maybe. I mean, it's a shame because players don't get the chance to develop. But I mean, with the current climate, like Errol's saying, they get put under a microscope, they get ripped apart, and the fact that he's not great defensively, they will just rip him. And even if he's dominant offensively, they will say, how's that going to translate to the NBA? He's like not fast enough. The defenders are taller and faster. They will look for something.
Yeah. All right, sure. Let's get into the matchup then. So who are you picking in this game and why?
I wasn't cheering for either team. I was a Kentucky fan.
Same
so for me, I'm not biased. I mean, I think both teams offensively are really good, and I mean, both strong teams, and both have good benches. So it's going to be an intriguing matchup, and I mean, it's going to be good to see how it works out. But I sort of think that Wisconsin's experience is going to benefit them the same as it did against Kentucky, and that might be what helps them win the game. But I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Duke won just because they are a good team. I mean, if Okafor can get Kaminsky in foul trouble early, and if
I know small forward, go on. The names
I don't know who can cover him. I mean, Decker's been playing well offensively, but I don't know what he's going to do defensively against the guy for Duke, who's really pushed his game up and been impressive. He's looked like the best player on the team. And I mean, I think he has the size and ability to shut Decker down. So that could be 2 of their top players, like, sort of eliminated. And then, obviously, Duke would have a pretty good chance to win that game.
Yeah, a lot of people ain't factor in. We already beat them this season.
Yeah.
When did they beat
by like 20 points early in the year.
When was that?
They beat them by like 20 points earlier in the year.
Was it this year? Was that earlier in this year? Yeah.
Yeah, like the preseason tournament.
Oh, is it a preseason tournament? It wasn't actually the regular season tournament, right?
It wasn't like because they're in different conference, so this is one of the preseason things, to get like top teams on.
It was preseason. It was a regular season. It wasn't a conference game.
Yeah, it was regular season. It's a game that counted, but I mean, it's like one of those preseason sort of tournaments where they get like the top teams to match up.
Okay.
Before regulars, before conference games start to play.
Yeah. I think you know what? I'm be honest with you, yeah. The underdog, yeah. A lot of people are gonna be looking for them to upset Duke because you remember everyone hate let now. A lot of people are gonna be cheering for because they beat Kentucky. Kentuckians will probably be cheering them to beat Duke. So
everybody's gonna cheer against Duke. You know that.
You
Duke
know
is the most hated team in basketball.
You see with Coach K, yeah. Coach K, no bloody what's his name again? No Calipari. He's gonna do whatever it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see him just sitting back like Calipari, waiting for things to happen. I think he will. He'll change up his defense. He'll do a zone. He'll do a trap. Calipari just sat back and let that whole. Why you bloody press Wisconsin? I mean, it's over and done with, like, people listening. But, like, why you put a press on Wisconsin or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just change your things up. I think, Coach K will do that. I'm not too sure about the Badgers coach. He's been there for years, by the way. I'm not too sure the coach's name, but he's been there for years. He's a very good coach, by the way.
Bo Ryan.
Yeah, Bo Ryan. He's a very good coach. He's a very good coach. I mean, he's done something right. I think this is his first time under his tenure actually gone to the finals, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about time now. He's had a lot of guys over there from Wisconsin. He's had loads of great players over there. I think is it Orlando? There's another guy called Orlando something. I can't remember his name was. He played there. What players have come out of Wisconsin? Did Nick Van Exel didn't come out of Wisconsin, did he?
No. He came from Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yeah. Which players come out of Wisconsin?
Wisconsin's got a lot of those medium range, small forward, power forward / type of players. Good players, but not a lot of great players. I think the best player they had was what's his face? Played for Phoenix, small forward, shooting guard, really athletic. Finley.
Oh.
Michael Finley.
Who are you referring to?
We're talking about who come out of Wisconsin. What's his name, Sean?
Michael Finley, I think, isn't it?
Finley come out of Wisconsin. Yeah, Finley's probably the best player come out of Wisconsin.
Yeah, he went to Wisconsin. He went to, who did he go to first? He was in Dallas first, then he went to Phoenix.
No. But we're saying he came out of Wisconsin though. Wow, man. Yeah. He's probably the best player they've ever come out. But you know what? This is gonna do good for him. Regardless of whatever happens, this is gonna be good for him in recruiting going into the next season because for like Davison and then places where the school where the guy from Golden State, what's his name again?
Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph Curry. I'm sure the coach over there must be doing a. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works, isn't it? If your team's on hot, like then obviously the following year, a lot of players want to go to your school, Because I remember when Duke was doing their thing, when Grant Hill, all the players came to Duke after that. When Michael Jordan, after that, a lot of people they're gonna carry Carolina if they come to Carolina. So we'll see, man. But it should be a really good game. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Wisconsin's got a chance, but I don't give Wisconsin much chance, man. What do you think, Sean?
I think Wisconsin can win, so I mean it's going to be great. To go back to your question about top players that came out of there, Michael Finley, Devin Harris.
Oh, Devin Harris, okay.
Wes Matthews, who is doing really a lot in Portland.
Yeah.
And for all those old-time basketball fans, Brad Sellers. No, I didn't know Brad Sellers was there. I thought he was Ohio State, but.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wow, man. All right, cool, man. Well, there you go, innit? There's those stats in it. So Chris has already broke it down. Chris don't think they got a shot. Chris don't think they got a prayer. But so you think they got a shot, right?
Well, they're a school team, so I mean they're going to be able to get their offense going. So it'll be interesting, and they've been shooting excellent. And I mean Decker has been like phenomenal. I mean he's, that's the interesting position. I don't think everyone's hyping the big guy for both of these teams, Okafor and Kaminsky.
Yeah.
But I think it's Decker and that guy. I can't remember his name. Come on, Chris. Who's the small forward for Duke?
Chris. Chris is probably taking a tea break. Hey, but you know what? I don't even know. Like the thing is, it's the thing about college basketball because they don't stay in long enough. Like I remember when JJ Redick was there, and like Chris was mentioning, all the other players. Because they stay longer, you get familiarized when you get to know them. So look, we're struggling with names. At least we've got
Justice Winslow.
Justin Winslow. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Justice Winslow, man. I mean, him and Decker. That's going to be the matchup. I think that makes a difference in this game because both of those guys have stepped their game up enormously for the tournament. I mean, Justice Winslow is averaging like 10 rebounds a game. I mean, Decker is averaging like about 20, almost 22 points a game for the tournament. So that's the one to watch.
I'm sorry about that. I had to knock it off. What was I saying about Decker? I came in the end of that.
I was just saying that I think the big guys is overrated. That's not going to be the matchup of the game. It's going to be Decker against Justice Winslow. That's going to probably determine more about this game than anything.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah. I think they need to do better because Winslow and Okafor both outplayed them two guys last game.
Hey, because the Lakers having a terrible season. If Okafor comes out, there's a chance he might go straight to the Lakers, which is probably a good idea, man. The Lakers need a big guy anyway.
They have the big guy. They have the guy from.
A point guard, a big man.
Well, they might get Russell, D'Angelo Russell.
I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how that's going to work with Kobe, man. I don't know.
Kobe is basically done, so that's not a big deal. And I mean, D'Angelo Russell likes to pass, so that's no problem. Right now on NBA,
restructured Kobe contract, so they can't get away.
Right now on NBA.draft, they have Towns going first to New York, Okafor going to Minnesota, D'Angelo Russell going to Philadelphia, and Emmanuel Mudiay going to the Lakers. That was the point guard, 6'5", really athletic, who played in China this year. Didn't go to college. He went to make money in China.
Yo, you heard that, guys, man. Well, boy, you getting everyone's getting education. Sean ain't just a boxing. Sean ain't his boxing nor his Chris nor mine. We love our basketball, and boy, we're putting it out there. So, boy, in a couple of how many? I think it's hour and a half. I've been watching the thingy shows as well. You guys see the festival yesterday? There was a music festival as well. You watch it, right?
Yeah, I watched everything. You know.
The rock. Yeah, the rock concert.
Except the concerts. I sell the concerts. I don't do the concerts.
Yeah, no, I was watching the rock concert. Also, they had earlier in the day, they had a seminar for the Final Fours for the coaches. They had that on earlier on. So they've got loads of things leading up to this actual moment. This is going to be a great basketball game. You know, this is the first time I'm actually going to hang out on it. You know, most of my picks didn't get there. I was expecting Kentucky to be there, but they're not. Wisconsin I can't really call them the Cinderellas. You know why? Because they're ranked number one. They were ranked number one. You know, coming into no, exactly. That's what I said. So I can't really call them that. But it seems like if Coach K can pull this off, Coach K will be the best. If Coach K pulled him off, I think right now, in today's basketball, Coach K will be the number one basketball coach in basketball. I mean, Dean Smith and obviously John Wooden, they're like obviously slightly in front, but definitely right now in today's day, Coach K can pull that off. He'd be one of the best coaches right now in today's basketball. What do you guys think about that?
How many rings on Dean Smith got?
Dean Smith's only got like I think 3.
Yeah, I would say that he probably.
I think it's John Wooden and Coach K.
No, I said today. I just said today's basketball.
Yeah, but you still gotta. They gonna still consider John. I was watching it this morning. They still consider him the best coach. I was watching ESPN.
I'm not saying of all time in college basketball. I'm saying today's basketball. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Coach K, no doubt. Coach K.
That's what they said. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
But Coach K has been considered the best college basketball player or college coach for I don't know how many years.
Not consensusly number one. Like,
he is because that's why he's been the coach of the Olympic team. You know, they don't have an NBA coach. They have Coach.
You know, it's always been like you got Calipari, man, and then got Well, actually, you know what? Actually, you know what? Look, exactly, because Calipari is the coach of the year. You see what I'm trying to say? Calipari has always this
year, but not considered the best coach in college basketball.
Yeah, because he always lost a big game. He ain't never won nothing.
He won something last year.
He won one time.
Last year.
Not last year.
And he been to the final.
Anthony Davis. Last year they lost 2.
How many championships compared as Calipari? Only one in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Shit, how many times have they been to the final?
The Final Four.
No, the finals. How many times has Kentucky been to the finals?
I think with Kansas and the time they won, so 2 times. They lost with Kansas, and that was when he coached Memphis, and then with Anthony Davis. I don't know if he went to the finals with Massachusetts.
He went to the Final Four, but
the finals. What I care about is the finals. Okay. Well,
yeah, he ain't no better coach than K. He only went there twice.
I ain't saying he's a better coach. Chris is just looking to argue, bro. I ain't saying he's a better coach. I'm just saying. I'm saying if Coach K wins this, in my eyes, and you guys are saying he's been the number one coach for thing, but in my eyes, yeah, if he gets like 5 rings, yeah, like he's walking like right now. I mean, he's got the most rings as it is right now as a college coach, right? But that's just like, you know, you're on Wooden status. You know what I'm saying? And he's still got years left. That's like Coach Wooden status. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he only needs 5 more. He can do it as well.
Yeah. Well, the game's different now than it was when Wooden coached. I mean, it's far more competitive.
Sure, you're deep. Sure, man.
It's true. There were like 3 or 4 programs that were dominant, and then the rest were, you know, middle of the pack. Now, based on recruiting and all the money that goes into college basketball, I mean, it's a much different game. I mean, you know, when Wooden coached, nobody watched it. It wasn't on television. Not really.
Yeah, it was, man. It was. I can still watch games now. I mean, like you say, it's not like, obviously, the footage is old and black and white here, but you're right. It's got more things, sponsors and everything into it. But, you know, there was less rules and stuff. It was more physical. And remember, they didn't have no 3-point line, so everything was 2s. And the lane was much smaller, so there's you know, bits of that. But I agree with you. It's very hard to, in this day and age, to do what Coach K is doing. It's very hard to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, let's think about what are the other top coaches in basketball. I mean, Calhoun, but he retired.
Yeah, and Coach Boeheim. You got Coach
for Syracuse, but he's lost more than he won in the big games.
Yeah, and you had George Thompson.
For Georgetown.
Yeah.
His first name.
Yeah.
But I mean, he retired. Now it's his son.
John Thompson. He's about John Thompson the third, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not his father. His father was.
No. But he was doing alright when he had Hibbert down there though. Hibbert and Danny and Thingy Green. They were doing alright when they were down there.
For Florida, Donovan.
Oh, you talking about the
really
coach
well.
Florida. What's his name again? The one who used to he was on. Oh yeah, don't forget Rick Pitino. Don't forget Rick Pitino still.
Yeah, Rick Pitino.
Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, Sean.
No, I was just saying, yeah, Rick Pitino is obviously one of them as well. But I mean, there's just a handful of guys. I mean, outside of that, basically, Coach K is on top of that mountain.
Yeah, because Stay outlasted all those guys. A lot of them guys ain't coaching no more.
No, that's what we're saying. No, I know, but I know that's what we're saying. But Shaka Smart is gonna be. I think Shaka Smart with Texas, going to Texas. I think they're gonna do something. He's a phenomenal young coach, and he can recruit very well. Hopefully, they can do something over there with Shaka Smart. And I like Rick Barnes over here, where he was at Texas. Now he's in Memphis. No, not Memphis. He's in Tennessee. He's in the Vols. I think he can do something down there as well. So them two coaching changes should be very interesting. I think more to do with Shaka Smart though, because he can do something straight away. And Roy Williams. Don't forget Roy Williams. Roy Williams he's got two, right? He's got two.
Terrible.
He's terrible as a coach.
Terrible.
I was thinking that, I was actually thinking the same thing. I was thinking they might get rid of him,
How does a school get as much talent as North Carolina and be so underwhelming year after year after year after year? I know for Chris, he's happy to hear this, but I mean, you look at the guy. Kansas was so upset. Kansas population, alums and everybody when he went to North Carolina. But then them getting the guy from Illinois, Self, was way better. Self is a way better coach. Kansas has done way better than North Carolina has since that switch.
North Carolina's won 2 championships. What are you talking about? Come on, no, you see. North Carolina's under Roy Williams. They've got 2 championships, man.
No,
Psycho T. They've won 2.
They split apart. He's right. They split apart. They weren't like back to back. They were split apart.
It don't matter, man. But who wins back to back anyway? Coach K ain't won no back to back since Grant Hill. No, since Grant Hill and
Donegan did.
But who else? No, but who wins back to back? No one does back to back these days.
No.
So it's not
Bill Self's teams have been better than North Carolina, and they won a championship as well.
Bill Self's team never won no championship.
Who did?
Which Bill never won no championships?
Yeah.
Which Bill Self?
When they beat Memphis.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. He only got 1 though. You're right. Yeah, Kansas. Yeah. You know what? I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. He's done a better job than Kansas. He's done a better job. He did do a better job. I ain't got that.
I'm not a Kansas fan. I never liked Kansas. Danny Manning and all those.
Carolina, the West Carolina is the recruiter right now.
Yeah. He's a far better recruiter. But North Carolina's recruited great. I mean, you look at their team. They got like 8 All-Americans on the team. Yeah. And I mean, they're terrible. I mean, every year, underwhelming. They just never produce. Whereas Duke, this year they had great recruits, but the last couple of years, not top class. I mean, a couple All-American guys, but I mean, not like superstars. And they've always been consistently better teams than North Carolina has. Even though North Carolina's running like 7, 8 All-Americans on their squad and then doing nothing. They were good with Psycho T because, that guy had heart, right? And that was a good team.
They had great point guards as well. Raymond Felton and Raymond Felton. What's the other point guard? Law. Was he Thingy Law? Thingy Law, innit? What's his name? It's Ty Lawson, isn't it?
Ty Lawson. And Lawson also has shown that he's a great player as well. I mean, he's done very well in Denver.
Yeah, he has. He showed he's a really good player. But but then he shows he can recruit. But I don't know, man. You know what? They haven't got a cycle. The thing about I was just saying about college players, like Frank Kaminsky. Is his last year? How many years? I don't think he gonna make it in the NBA. By the way, I don't care if you're telling me. I don't think he gonna make it in the NBA.
Score, which in the NBA now is a good position.
Yeah, man, that guy ain't got the body build to do anything in the NBA. Can't play no defense. Like in college, he's the man. He might have of Pip's Knuckle. Remember Pip's Knuckle down in West? Yeah. He good, but
he looks more athletic than him though.
Yeah, he could move.
That guy was a little too.
I used to like Pip's Knuckle. Pip's Knuckle could bang some shots, man. But yeah. But how many years has Kaminsky got? I think has he got another year? Because they went.
No. This is his 4th year.
Oh, this is last year coming out. Okay, so he'll be coming out. Maybe he might do something. Maybe he can get into the NBA then. Maybe it'd be nice if he can get in there, but send him to Utah or something. Then, but
Well, Kaminsky, I mean, where is he ranked in? As far as the draft board, I think
he went. I tell you what, they weren't even looking at him. I'm sure they wasn't even looking at him until this point. So, but
he was 18th. Going to Philadelphia, but I mean,
I wouldn't draft him. I tell you, I wouldn't draft him. I like him though. I wouldn't draft him though.
Well, when you get down there to like 18, 19 to 30, I mean, you look at the guys that are available. I mean, he has just as much ability as they do. I mean, there's a couple sleepers there, but like R.J. Hunter, who had a really great game in the tournament, scoring that like deep three to like have his team move on. Delon Wright, who played great for Utah. I mean, but other than that, Chris the guy from Syracuse, the power forward, he's a really good player. But I mean, he's like we've been talking about, right? A great high school player who had a, okay impact in college after 1 year, and now he's going to go to the NBA. But that guy totally needs more season.
Yeah, you got good points, but you know what? There's no really, in my opinion, there's no impact players coming out of college these days. Not like LeBron, not like a Carmelo. There's no that type of player, superstar.
They go to college.
You're right. Sorry, Carmelo. You're right. Good point, Chris. A Carmelo, Wade. There's none of them type of players coming out of college do it like straight in and they're gonna do something. Well, they may be. Well, I haven't seen them. I'll tell you what, Russell looked like he's got the potential though.
Russell Westbrook?
No, Russell, the same guy from Yeah, he looks like he's got the potential to do something.
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, D'Angelo
I
Russell.
look at them sleeper players that nobody is looking at, because like remember Nick Van Exel, he went low in the draft and came out as the superstar when he got to the NBA. I'm looking at them players that nobody looking for, them sleeper players. There's a lot of sleeper players I think gonna be in this draft.
Yeah. I mean, there's players. I mean, there's potential, especially within the first 14 picks. And then after that, there's sleeper guys. Like the point guard for Portland, right? Like nobody expected him to be so impactful, and he's played great.
Yes, it's true. It's a different thing. It's a different thing in the NBA. You're absolutely right. But you know what? I swear we're gonna have maybe one of the greatest games of all time. I don't know, maybe. I hope so. I hope so for college basketball, because another thing though, I'm gonna mention Coach Knight, Bobby Knight. I love listening to him at ESPN. He done his last game on the NIT championship. Did you watch it? It was between Hartford, Stanford, and Stanford and Miami. That game was great. That point guard for Stanford, he's nice. He clutch. That kid down the stretch was clutch, man. That was a great game as well.
And Chris, who's coaching Stanford?
Who's coaching, man? I ain't follow that.
Come on, Chris, you don't know, Duke. You don't know one of the Duke point guards.
Who was I talking about? Johnny Dawkins.
Dawkins, man. Dawkins, man.
Yeah, Johnny Dawkins is the coach.
I followed Dawkins since he left the assistant coach. I ain't know he was coaching.
Yeah, he coached at Stanford, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, they've had like 5-20.
Jeff Capel was coaching too. Coaching somewhere, but he's back with Duke though.
Amaker?
No, Capel. He played the 2 guard with Grant Hill.
Which guy?
Grant Hill, senior year. Before Grant Hill left, it was a black dude named Jeff Capel.
Yeah. Jeff Capel. Yeah. I know who you mean.
Yeah.
All those guys from Duke are now coaches. I mean, Capel, Amaker, Dawkins. I mean, the list, the list is long.
They come out of that program, they can get it. For some reason, they coming out of that program, they get a job.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's good, like some of the former players doing big impact in college, man. It's good because college basketball needs great coaches as they need great players. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about it before. About the one and done rule. To me, I think you should get rid of it. I think if a player wants to go straight to the NBA and pursue his dreams to make money, I think he should be allowed to. And I don't really agree with the one and done. They want to change the 2 years. I don't like it one bit. Because before
that's it for the game because nobody ain't saying.
No, because
they don't fit off.
But what I'm saying to you is that before they had one and done, there was guys in college who stayed for 4 years or 3 years. It wasn't a problem. But now it's like you're messing up the form. You're putting guys in college who don't really want to be in college, except for the sake of it is there. So if they don't really want in college, they let them be allowed to go to the NBA, and then people are like, oh, but if they go to the NBA, they don't get picked. Well, that's on them. They got advised wrongly, and they have to deal with the consequences like you do in life. So it's like
they do it because of their era. Because because once you get in the draft, you can't go back to college.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you. You should know, right, that when you make that obligation to declare yourself a draft, you should do all the homework to make sure you put yourself in a position to be drafted. That's what I'm trying to say to you. But making guys stay in college for 1 year, you don't want to be in college. It's messed up college because I can tell you before the one and done rule, right? Before the one and done, college was in a better state. What am I lying? College basketball was in a much better, healthier situation.
But those guys wasn't even coming out like that, though, Aaron. That's why they weren't concerned about it then. Because people staying 3 to 4 years, like you saying.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
what I'm trying to say. The one and done messed up college basketball. That's what I'm saying. Because before one and done, college basketball had no problem. Now you're barely lucky if you get anyone there. Like guys like Tracy McGrady and Kevin Durant, they should have been allowed to go straight to the NBA. You didn't have to stop at Texas. You know what I mean? You didn't want if you want to play college basketball is one of the best experience for a player. Anyone should want to go through a college environment. But if you're coming from a poverty area where you're playing basketball to support your family, then you should be allowed to go and get that money for your family. But if you can't, if the NBA doesn't accept you, you're gonna have to deal with the consequence about going elsewhere. And that's the way. That's the life in general. I mean, what do you think, Sean, on that? What I'm saying?
Well, it's too bad that, obviously logistically it's a nightmare, but it's too bad that college couldn't be affiliated with pro teams more like other sports, where you can assign guys and they can get that money, but they can still sort of play for a less intense environment, more fun, and develop the skills. Guys like Kobe and McGrady were great players, but both of those guys sat on the bench and didn't contribute very much the first 2 years. Both of those guys would have done very well going to college for a couple of years, and their game would have been that much bigger when they came out. They would have had more of an impact because they would have had more of a strong foundation. Even LeBron, he played well in Cleveland, but imagine if he would have went and played for a good college coach for a couple of years and then came out and had that much more experience playing at a higher level. Because he dominated high school, but that's because he was way bigger than everyone.
Yeah, but what people are missing is that like the financial rewards in terms of where your parents are, what you could do for your whole family, you could change your whole environment. So what I'm saying to you is that yeah, I agree with you, but they could get injured and their stock could go down. So you're dealing with an investment in yourself where you've got, some people are really good. Like you don't hear the stories, yeah, where people go to college and they're really good and they start dropping down and eventually no one even drafts them. That could happen. So when you're hot, like we're talking about this kid, Okafor, when you're hot, like you're in college, when it's time to come out. So I'm saying, so it's a different time, it's a different time. But one and done has changed college for me, not for the better, in my opinion.
That's why if players have agents and stuff early, I don't think that's terrible, because it just gives them somebody who has experience to manage their career. You look at a lot of guys like LeBron James. He was still playing high school, and his mother had, and this would happen to any top player. She was getting bank loans because basically they knew her son was going to the NBA. That's why when he was in high school, he was driving a Hummer. You know, this is a high school kid driving a Hummer in Ohio, and his mother doesn't have any money, but because they know he's got potential, they gave mom all this money through a bank. So it's all legal and legitimate. So, I mean, all of those big players, they can all get that as well. They can all sign, like, long-term insurance policies, to pay out big bucks if their NBA career doesn't unfold because of an injury or something. So, I mean, there's other things they can do to protect themselves.
Yeah. You're right. Well, boy, this has been a great debate, man. Like, your season's gonna be over. I guess we're gonna, after this, me, Sean, and Chris, hopefully we're gonna join each other in the playoffs. The start of the playoffs, or maybe some of the regular season game, but most likely we'll probably join yourself. Sure, you're gonna come on the playoffs, right? The start of the playoffs, we do some because me and Chris was doing that last year actually on the predictions of the playoffs, right? You join us on that?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, great. All right then. Well, the predictions are out. So me, I'm going for Wisconsin if it's close. If it's a big lead, I'm going for Duke, but that's obviously. But you know what? I'm going for Wisconsin. Chris is going for Duke, obviously. He's from Carolina, but that's his team from when he was young. He loves Grant Hill. Sean, who you picking?
Like I say, I mean, I sort of favor Wisconsin, but I think it depends on the matchup between Decker and Justice Winslow. And depending on how that plays out, that could determine who's the winner.
You ever gave a definitive answer?
Well, I said I favor Wisconsin.
Okay, all right. So you got Wisconsin. 2 Wisconsin, 1 Duke. We're probably going to eat crow after. We're probably going to have to eat crow after because Chris is going to come back and wind us up. We might come back and do a post show. It probably because Chris is going to be running off his mouth if they get through. But I'll tell you what, if Wisconsin win, it's gonna be friggin' like the internet. I think the internet's gonna blow up though, isn't it? I think it's gonna blow up. So we might come back for a post show. Chris and Sean, you want to say anything else to the people listening?
I know all y'all Carolina fans hate me right now. Y'all Tar Heels eating crow. Y'all at home.
This is one of those games where I don't think either one of these teams are America's team, so to speak. I mean, Duke always had haters, and Wisconsin. I mean, they have a small following, but they've never been big across the board. So it'll be interesting to see who everybody else is cheering for.
Oh, that's it.
I think obviously Kentucky was the number 1 team being pushed.
Okay.
Like,
Duke is gonna get doomed when they come out there. Watch what I tell you.
Hey, what do you mean America? Because I'm over in the UK. Which team is college basketball's American team of America that America would support?
I would say Kentucky or Carolina. One of them two.
North Carolina.
Yeah, but North Carolina is so high how. I don't know if it's them. I mean, obviously it's Kentucky this year, who is going for the big undefeated season and everything else.
Oh, well, that's some good news, man. I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that. I thought, American teams, that's something I didn't know. Well, you learn something new every day. Well, from EJ Boxing Live, Sean Newton, Chris Caban, hope you guys enjoy the show listening. We'll catch you back maybe on a post show. If not, we might catch you in the playoffs. We've made our predictions, and hope you guys enjoy yourselves. So we're going to catch you up after the game maybe. All right, everyone take care of yourself. Peace.